long time ago, you had done a tour, and it was a little different. You just went into, what do you want? No telling of the story, no details. So, what I want is to experience something I've never experienced in this lifetime, which is marriage. And I want to know how to get it.
Well, it's a good question at a good time, because what we've been talking about here is about when you feel the absence of something that you want so much, you cannot get around it. There is no way to compensate for a vibration that feels like doubt. And so you have to get off the subject, and you haven't exactly been off the subject.
No, because my job and what I do for a living, I'm on 24/7, 365 doing it. So it's been really hard. I try, trust me, I try. I'm always trying to find another thing to focus on.
In the same way that we were talking about dollars and what they mean,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about a relationship and what that means.
Okay.
What is the vibrational essence of it? Apart from the obvious, what does it feel like? Because, you know, you've heard us say this so many times, no matter what it is that anyone wants, pile of money, a relationship, a circumstance, an event, a material object, is because they believe they will feel better. So what feels so good from your perspective about a relationship?
I love loving someone, and I love the connection.
You said two things that are a little bit different. You like projecting your appreciation to someone, and you like getting it back. So it's mutual, it's resonance, isn't it?
And I also like sex. A lot.
Well, there's a lot of that around.
I don't want to just sleep with a million people. I want to sleep with one that I'm connecting with and raising the vibration with.
We are not disagreeing with anything. You get to want whatever you want, and you get to identify it in whatever way that you want it. But the thing that we want you to feel, we're just going to say this very blatantly, and we've said this to many people very blatantly. Your often offered vibration, which is what a belief is, simply doesn't match your desire. That's all that it is. Your desire and your belief don't match. And as long as that is true, your true desire cannot come about. As long as your true desire is one thing and your belief is another. Well, what causes a belief? Fact-finding, paying attention to things. So you're too in your head about what a relationship is, and not quite enough in your heart or in your vibration about what it would feel like. And so describe for us what it feels like to be inside a relationship, the one that you want. What does that feel like? Go really slow.
Go general, right? Yeah.
General or specific, but go really slow.
Okay.
Choose your words as you feel them, and let's ponder them and really feel them as you go.
Exhilaration.
All right, now exhilaration, that's all right. Exhilaration is a feeling that has a lot of momentum going. So to start on a subject that has a lot of momentum going, when you've got beliefs that are blocking it, doesn't work very well. So try to go a little more general, as you said, a little deeper, a little more feeling, a little softer feeling than exhilaration.
Nurturing. It's very nurturing to me.
Nurturing. Now, so nurturing is a good feeling. You being nurtured feels a little needy. But your desire, what's in your vortex, there's no neediness in your vortex. And so when you're looking for nurturing, that's not truly resonant with what you're looking for. And this is what the process is, and it's just wonderful. So just keep offering words. Just keep offering words.
Well, I mean, it's happiness to me.
Wait. Just keep offering words that describe the feeling that you are reaching for. Because you've made a decision about something that you want, and we want to feel the vibrational essence of your decision. So this relationship feels to me like
freedom.
All right, now freedom from what?
To fly.
freedom from not being alone. What we're getting at, and just sit tight for just a second, but what we're getting at is the desire is here, but the receptive mode is here. And so even though you're offering words that seem like they should be resonant, they're not, because they're coming from a different place than this alignment. And the purpose of this conversation is for the feeling that you have to reach this place, and it will. We're just going to stay here till it does. So go get a drink, water. So relationship feels like,
I keep getting the word connection, like in alignment with someone who's like you, that you can be together. And
but see, when you're connected with you, then you can find someone who's connected with you. But until you're connected with you, when you're looking for someone to make the connection, then it keeps not happening. And a lot of people, there's no reason in the world that you couldn't have hooked up with this one and this one and this one and this one and this one, except that what's in your vortex is something very different from that. So what you're saying to us is, Abraham, over time I've created a very specific relationship, and I don't want to settle for anything less than that. But clearly I must not be a vibrational match to what I've created in my vortex. Help me be a vibrational match to what I've put into my vortex. That's what this question is. How can I be a vibrational match to what's in my vortex? Well, you got to understand what's in there. It's so interesting because you are an independent being, sort of looking for a relationship that you can feel dependent upon. You are a being who wants the freedom of your own clarity, who wants somebody else to play with, who will cause you to be a little less free. Hasn't that been your experience?
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So here's the question. How do I be a vibrational match to what's in my vortex? So we have some questions. Do you believe you have a vortex?
Yes.
Do you think it has a lot of components on this subject?
Yes.
Do you think that since you've been putting them there incrementally, that they have gestated and that they are ready for you to be ready for them?
Yes.
Yes. There's no question. And so therefore isn't the only question, how can I be ready for what's ready for me?
Correct.
And how do you know if you're not ready? Feels like negative emotion. How do you know if you are ready?
Happy emotion.
Feels like positive.
Yeah, positive.
So this conversation is not about making something happen so that you can be happy. This conversation is about being happy in this conversation.
True.
You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
It's not about accomplishing something so I can get to the manifestation. It's about being happy. It's about making the connection with your inner being so that you don't even need the connection with another human. And when you've made the connection with your inner being so that you don't even need or even really want, then someone who is also in that place of connection will just flow into your experience, and you'll say, I've been looking for you. Makes sense, doesn't it? What you're feeling right now is so good, because what you're feeling right now is the absence of that feeling. And how do you know what you do want if you don't know what you don't want? What you're feeling is
Sadness that it's not there, that
sadness.
that I bring other people their true love, and I can't seem to get it myself right. And I've been doing it my whole life, and it's pissing me the fuck off. I'm sorry.
So you're having a step one moment.
Pretty much so.
And we would like it to be a step five moment where you're feeling that but not mad at yourself because you're feeling that. This is such an important conversation, because of course you know what you don't want and you know what you do want, and you're really good at what you do, and you're not very far from being in that place that you want. What you're about in your work is bringing manifestations about that make people happy, which is backwards of the way the laws of the universe are working, because the laws of the universe say get happy, and then that happiness will be reflected in all of these different ways. Let's take segment of refreshment.
Okay.
Don't talk to anybody about it, because everybody's going to have a good idea for you. And since this is a topic of huge proportion in this room, no kidding, when we come back from a segment of refreshment, we'll just walk through it in a way that will leave you not exhilarated, but completely satisfied. It is our promise to you.
May I talk about another genius creator?
Yeah.
Walt Disney.
Yeah.
I've loved Walt since I can remember.
Yes.
It's inspiring because I love when you said it's easier to create a castle as a button, and how Walt in his vision has created so many castles, I can't even count them. And it's been a source of inspiration. And I guess part of the question was, part of me feels very creative and I have a lot of creative abilities, but then there was part of me that, like you said, was not lining up and resisting the greatness that I could be.
Well, we've been talking about that here today, and it's nice to have someone in your sights who represents to you something that is pleasing, like Walt Disney. It's helpful when you focus upon him, or when you study him, or when you learn about him. It's helpful when you see the aspects of the way he lived, or the approaches that he had to life, and how they fall into harmony with the laws of the universe, as you are coming to understand that they are. Someone who had a vision or a dream that was not reality, but that still felt real. Someone who could not be dissuaded. Someone who would not listen to the obstacles that were presented. Someone who knew that he would find a way. Someone who believed that there was always a way. Someone who believed in the happy hearts of people. Someone who knew that people do want to feel good, that it's something that they would seek out. Someone who believed in the power of a dream. Someone who had shown himself the power of dreaming. Someone who understood how to turn thoughts to things. Someone who understood that it only takes a handful who are turning thoughts to things. That handful who does it, then millions, if not billions, can be the beneficiaries of those thoughts having turned to things. But we want to be sure that we explain something that is really important, and that is, it is not necessary, if you're looking for the satisfaction of life that you've come for the fulfilling of your purpose, or the satisfaction that is really what you are about, it is not necessary for millions to know you, or follow you, or find you, or be taught by you. Your true power, what you bring to this time-space reality, you bring even if others do not understand it. And you really cannot control whether they understand it and come along with it or not. And that is so often the part that trips people up. How can I be understood? If I get into the receptive mode, then others will also come into the receptive mode. That's not the reason to get into the receptive mode. If I get into the receptive mode, then I will be able to bring people from their not receptive mode into their receptive mode. That's not the reason either, because in the moment that you focus upon those who are not in the receptive mode, you aren't in the receptive mode either. So that's why when someone's dream is strong enough, they're not dissuaded by anyone else's relationship with their dream. That's the thing that we wish for all of you, that you would feel enough confidence within your own ability to choose, that it wouldn't matter to you if anyone else is in agreement with what you have chosen. Can you feel how important that is? But if you need others to agree with what you have chosen, then that's when you begin to trip yourself up. And that's why your first question dovetails so perfectly with this one, because you're talking about unconditional love. Well, it's a rare person who can unconditionally really not give a rip what anybody else thinks about their desires. You almost always include them. That's why what we said earlier is so important to understand. People think there's strength in numbers, and we want to say there's strength in alignment, and numbers don't necessarily mean alignment. Now, this is a good thing for us to talk about with our friend relative to the relationship, because there are so many people who have you in their awareness, and so it's easy to be dissuaded by what others think about you. You have to think your own thoughts about yourself that are so powerful that it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And that's what Walt Disney had going on. He did not care what others thought. His dream was so big, and his dream satisfied him. And while of course he talked about wanting to share it with the world, in the beginning that was not the way he was talking. He didn't share it with anyone that would cause him to lose the power of it.